We have so many things to cover today. But before we do, I don't know if you saw last week, but Mob came out with a card game.
Oh my God, really? What's it look like?
Looks like this.
Oh,
Called Who Said That?
Okay,
Created for the bottom feeder army.
Oh my God, I love it.
Exactly. Man, it's the best drinking game. That's what I'm calling it. I want to call it a drinking game. And before we get started, it's only proper if I start off with Who Said That with you.
Right. Well, we got to plug it. I mean, this is the perfect deck of cards to play strip poker with, whatever games you guys want to play. You know, this is it. This is the best. That's the best looking deck of cards I've ever seen in my life.
Stocking stuffers, birthdays, Christmas, Hanukkah.
Right.
I like that.
100%.
All right. So I'm just going to pick a random card. Listen, there's nothing orchestrated here, no bias, nothing like that. So I'm going to pick a random card. And it says, who said you lied to me? With hints, I gave up so much. Do you promise?
Huh. Devin?
Who?
Is it Devin?
Have you played this before?
No.
Did you cheat?
Oh!
All right. Man,
you
you brought it up, not me. You brought it up. Since you brought up Devin, man, that's where we left off. I want to talk about Devin.
Dude, she said that in Korea, man. I watched the show, you know? I knew it was her.
Man,
you would pick her card too.
It's a little bit of low-key messy shade. I could do that every once in a while. But hey, you brought her up. I want to talk about her. Where are we at with her?
Well, you know, it's really messy right now. I mean, the wet sock community knows about it. Basically, you know, she threatened us with legal action. Now she's talking in live streams and trying to twist it like I did something wrong. And I wasn't even making videos on her until she threatened me in my DMs. And then nowadays she's like trying to backpedal, trying to constantly make posts about how she's saying that allegedly Jihoon was abusive towards her daughter Drusilla, or little baby Dracula, as I like to call her. And I just feel like, you know, she keeps throwing out false accusations of abuse. And it makes everybody question everything. You know what I mean? Because abuse is not something to joke about. And I just feel like something like that is not something you falsely accuse somebody of, because that ruins people's lives.
And how do we know that they're false?
What's up?
How do we know exactly that they're false?
Well, with the Jihoon situation, I mean, the only thing that she's released so far has been pictures, and the pictures do not tell the tale. There's no evidence of Jihoon being physically abusive towards Drusilla. If you look at the pictures don't look like he ripped out her hair. It looks like thinning for blonde hair, or it looks like just a haircut. Like, it looks buzzed. It doesn't look, if you ripped a child's hair out, there would be bleeding. There would be like, it doesn't look like that if you look at the pictures that were released. So for me, I don't know, like, here's my thing. I don't know if what she's saying is true or not, but I do know that this is the same person that falsely accused me of verbally abusing a child in front of her audience on Instagram of 450,000 people. So do I think this is the same person that would, you know, lie about abuse towards Jihoon? Yeah, I do. And it sucks that you can't hear his side of the story, because he actually seems like a nice guy. And it's just unfortunate that, you know, she gets the YouTube channel, she gets the cameos, she gets the Patreon, she gets all the ways of making money and all the vehicles they have. And this poor guy is stuck in South Korea, and he's doing deliveries, and he's just trying his best, and she won't stop coming after this guy. And I just feel like, Devin, you've already won. You know, you're with this new guy. I don't understand why she's so persistent to ruin this guy's life.
Wow. Okay, so you feel like this guy has a completely different story of his own, and there's obviously two sides, but since she speaks English, that's her primary language, she's obviously the one who's willing to put herself out there on social media and on YouTube, on these platforms, and talk about it. You think that she has the upper hand?
100%. Well, it's really hard for him. I mean, you know, let's think about what happened when Rose went on the 90 Day Fiancé tell-all. She even had a translator, and even then the host was persistent, like, why aren't you speaking English? Why aren't you speaking English? And it's like, man, it's really hard when you speak another language to get up there and talk about issues in general, let alone serious accusations of abuse. Like, I feel like he's really scared to even go live and talk about it because it's such a sensitive topic.
Right. And then also, if you watch him with this translator, he probably has PTSD from this translator because he can't trust it, because when he watches it back, it makes him look like a total, ASS, obviously. So yeah, I think that it's true. When it's not your primary language and you get frustrated and you're trying to get your point out, and the person across from you, they speak English perfectly and they're just like, go on, use your words, and you can't get it out. It's frustrating.
It's really frustrating. I mean, here's the thing too. Do you speak another language by chance?
No.
Okay, so I'm learning Bulgarian right now. So that would be like me doing a live in Bulgarian. I'm not ready to do a live in another language. You know what I mean? I can speak simple sentences and I can figure it out, but just going live and having a casual conversation, I think after 4 sentences I would get tripped up, and then it's hard to communicate in another language.
So
especially in a live.
So you feel like if we put Jihoon in this Zen setting and we have a one-on-one with him, man, and we have a translator and we're like, hey, man, it's just you and I here. What happened?
I would love to do that. You know what? Let me extend this invitation. Jihoon, if you come on with us and let us interview you, we'd love to get your side of the story. And we wouldn't ask you any loaded questions, no underhanded tactics. Whatever you feel comfortable talking about is what we would talk about. Because I feel bad for this guy, because here's the thing. I can make videos, roasting the whole cast and everything. But at the end of the day, this is a very serious accusation. And I don't think that this guy deserves to have his entire reputation ruined because of something that isn't proven. And he seems like a nice guy. So right. I feel bad.
Well, and who knows how this is affecting his family, because if it's getting out over there and his family has to answer for him being this abusive guy, that doesn't look great either, obviously.
No, I mean, it doesn't look great for anything. What about his job? If someone finds that out and has to ask him, hey, what about this? You know what I mean? It's not okay. It's not okay at the end of the day. And I just feel bad for the guy, and I wish him well. And if he wants to be interviewed by me and you, I have no problem doing that. I would love to do it. And
I keep it clean. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you care if I bring somebody up before we move on to the next topic to chime in on this for a second?
Of course. Bring somebody up. Wet Socks, get in here.
All right. Sad Star Podcast, welcome in.
Sad Star, what's going on?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
How's it going?
You?
I'm good. So we were talking about Jihoon, right?
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, I like Jihoon a lot. I didn't like him before because he has this bum attitude, but he's a really nice guy. Or maybe I can say I started sympathizing with him more after the accusations came out. Now, I want to make some jokes, but I'm not this time. I've made enough jokes about Drusilla and Devin. But I just want to say that I hope with everything in my heart that Devin is lying. Because if Jihoon did something bad to Drusilla, it doesn't matter what it is, but if he did something bad, I hope that's not true. I don't want to see Drusilla hurt, because after all, even though I made jokes about her, she's still a child. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah. I really hope that you guys can get Jihoon on a live stream, even though maybe I think his English is gonna be a little bit hard for him to speak in English and answer everything clearly. And if you guys need help with that, I actually have a friend. He's Korean, and if you guys wanna, maybe I can get in contact with him, and maybe he can help you guys out if you would like.
A translator?
Yeah.
Yes, he knows English. My friend knows English, and he's already he's Korean. Maybe I can hook you guys up.
Yeah, please do, because here's the thing. If we interview Jihoon, I would love for him to feel comfortable and be able to for us to have a good understanding of, everything he means and the intentions behind his words. And I feel like, the show does a really bad job with that on the tell-all, because it's like what happened with Rose. I don't want that to happen with Jihoon, especially with serious accusations like this. I want him to be able to really explain himself, the situation, what happened, and his side of the story.
Exactly. I really want him to clear his name. And to be honest with you, about this topic, about child abuse and these things in Korea, it's a big deal. And I know that Jihoon, he heard about these things that Devin said, and he's probably really scared for even his life. Because in
Really?
Korea, yes, on my channel, I've covered like one story about a Korean guy, and I also know Korean people on the internet. And there are two big issues in Korea. That's domestic violence, assault, and abusing children. These three issues are really big in Korea, and people like to throw blame around, even if it's not true, especially on men and sometimes even on women. And a lot of them are like victims. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think Jihoon, like if the people in Korea got like sniffed that there's this information about Jihoon, whether it's right or wrong, they're gonna hunt him down. They're gonna hunt him down and execute him. They're gonna hurt him and his family. Do you know what I mean? It's a very big issue. And to be honest, like it's the issue is concerning this thing in Korea, and I've experienced this firsthand. It would be very easy to throw the blame at a man and not a woman. For example, if they just hear about it, they're gonna say, "Oh, Devon has the child." A mother cannot be lying about her child, but a man can lie because he's the one who's being accused. Do you know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Especially that he doesn't have a big platform, and usually people there are very biased towards the person who has a bigger platform.
Well,
You know what I mean?
since actually Sad Star podcast, since you brought up the abuse situation, I want to move on to the next topic. But before we do, it's only right if I ask you a card from Who Said That. Is that fair?
Of course.
Okay.
Yay, I love this game. This is
I
fun.
do too. I just wish I was drinking and not getting on the road before I'm playing it. All right. So this one is Who Said I want you to convert to Islam.
That's my guy, my main man, Yazan.
What?
I knew it.
I love that.
Guys, I just want to say something. I've seen girls simping for him on Instagram and like editing his pictures and saying, "Oh my God, he's so fine." Guys, he's one of the ugliest Arabian guys that I have seen in my life. What are people thinking?
God,
What
Sad Star
are
podcast,
people-
you're a savage.
I'm honest. I'm Arab. I have seen good-looking men, and I have seen the fuggliest men on earth. I have the right to actually say the truth. He's ugly. He is ugly.
Hey,
let me say it in Arabic. يزن لو انت سامعني دلوقتي انا عايزه اقول لك انك بشع. ما تصدقش البنات اللي بيجروا وراك. انت شكلك مقرف. That's
and
it.
he heard that. And I felt it.
He probably heard that. He knows Arabic.
He heard that, and I felt that. Sad Star podcast, stay around. I'm going to bring you back up. We're just going to bring up some other callers and rotate through.
Okay.
All right. So, man, wow, she was savage on that.
Dude,
but I
she
like
said it in Arabic too. For everybody in the back, didn't hear it. Said it in Arabic in his native tongue. Wow.
I don't think you have to ask her if she speaks 2 languages.
No, you know what? I think, confirmed wet sock with that savagery. I loved it. Love to see it.
Okay. Well, technically, I'll just give you that one by default, in all fairness, since I haven't named my community. But when I get around to naming my community.
What are you going to name them? I'm excited.
I was thinking about something with like uppers, but then I feel like it takes me back to like college, and it's like my friends who did Adderall, and I don't want to do that. So then.
But uppers could be kind of dope though, because everybody loves uppers, right? What?
Yeah, I guess it'd be better to be an upper than a downer. But
right.
wait, that actually brings me back to this. In talking about being a downer and talking about abuse, I want to talk to you about the other way, because we have Brittany and Yazan back, and we just talked about Yazan on the Who Said That. Do you have opinions?
Yeah. I mean, Brittany and Yazan, I've made a lot of videos about them. I feel like it's doomed to be, it's a doomed relationship from the get-go. I feel like, basically what happened was Brittany was, her sister was friends with Yazan's sister, and they were roommate. I think the whole thing feels like a sham to me, because I don't know what they have in common. other than both being pretty good looking people, they have nothing else in common. They have nothing else to really talk about. I haven't seen them be like a cute couple the entire time. I've seen them fight about culture and religion the entire segment. So I don't exactly know what they have in common. And I don't like it. To me, it feels like she's using him for clout to like get famous, because she has no intention of accepting Islam. And I feel like it's a sham couple, to be honest with you.
Exactly. She's trying to get herself out there to build herself up, build some sort of name. And TLC, it's either TLC or MTV at this point, because she's not going to be on E. She's not going to be on Bravo. So yeah, I mean,
right. I mean,
agree
you know what? I wish her luck and everything, but it's a weird route to go because, you know, the rhymes are not there, man. You know, rap careers.
What makes this kind of like a sick joke, though, is when we see I think it was his uncle, right? Who's like, I will be his murderer. It's like, I don't think she understands.
It was his dad. That's like,
dad
said something like, yeah, if I see him, I'm going to kill him or something like that, which is crazy for a father to say about a son.
I agree with you. Let's bring up another caller and see what they say about this. All right.
Sounds good.
Hi, Dee.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, good. How are you?
Hi. Well, I wanted to talk about Devin a little bit. And I'm really surprised that so many people don't believe her. I don't know what you guys see. And it may just be a woman's perspective. That's a little bit different.
Okay. So you're saying you believe Devin?
I do believe her. I believe that there was some sort of incident that happened. You can look at Devin and you can look in her eyes and you can see a blank. It's blank. There's like nothing there. She seems, and I'm not a mental health expert, but she does seem like someone that is clinically depressed. And if you saw that interview that she did a week or two ago, I can't remember who did it with her. It might have been John. She explained her side of the story, and she said that she was at a really dark place in her life to the point where she didn't want to be here anymore. And TLC had to come and basically give her money and film that experience that she was going through in order to bring her back to the United States. So there's obviously something going on. She's experienced trauma of some sort. And
but my question is, not to cut you off really quick, if that was the way to get back to the United States, now you're going to have everybody who's going to ask the obvious question is, you know, did she use this as a way to get back to the United States and kind of use this as kind of, do you see what I'm saying, Wetsock? Like, did she make 100%. This up to pitch it to TLC to bring her back to the States?
The problem with her is that there's so many inconsistencies with her story. So every timeline she throws out there, it's proven that that's not the time that took place, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of people make videos about this whole Devin topic and, you know, her accusations of abuse. Mm-hmm. My thing is, if somebody, she's like kind of like the girl that cried wolf, you know what I mean? Or the boy that cried wolf, because it's unfortunate because she's the same person that falsely accuses people of abuse, like verbal abuse, and just throws it out there. And I think that's why most people don't trust her, because there's inconsistencies with the story. And a lot of times she'll throw these, you know, gnarly accusations out without actual evidence to back up the claims.
Well, I think we're going to have to wait and see what the evidence is. She states that there is a court case, and we'll see it. But, you know, unless you know people that have been abused, their memory is inconsistent. That's an outcome of having trauma. That's the reality. I mean, if you talk to women that have been abused of any sort, a lot of them have inconsistencies in their memory because of the trauma of the abuse. So I'm not surprised with that. But I do think we should keep an open mind and wait and see what the evidence shows. She said there's a court case that's going to be held in Korea. But then Ji-hoon isn't reliable either. I mean, this is a man that's 30 years old that can't hold a job, who seems really irresponsible. I mean, if you look at both of them, they're kind of.
Yeah, if you had to look at both as far as like responsibility and credibility, this is kind of like a tough at this point, I do feel like we need to see the evidence. That's just.
We need to see the evidence.
we have to see the evidence, but I do think that there's a difference between someone being a bum or someone that's not hardworking versus someone that's more malicious. And I think most people agree that Devin has been the more conniving one out of the two. She's paid off Cheryl's World and a bunch of other bloggers and people to talk good about her. She actually admitted in a live stream to donating to her, saying that, oh, I donate to all YouTubers that talk to me. Your Wet Sock has not received a donation. Because Your Wet Sock can't be
people donate.
Your Wet Sock speaks nothing but the truth.
Donating like $20. I mean, that's the difference. I mean, people can donate to Up and Adam and do super stickers. I think that's far-fetched.
Can I say two things really quick?
Cheryl Girl has only posted nothing but positive videos about Devin and putting her in the limelight and not hearing Jihoon's side or even saying anything about Jihoon's side. I think that's strange because when all of this was going on, she posted nothing but videos about Devin's side of the story and trying to make Devin seem like the good guy, no matter what.
Sherelle didn't like Devin in the beginning. I've watched Sherelle for years. She was on Jihoon's side. She said Jihoon was a great guy. She really liked him. She definitely was pro Jihoon.
I'm talking about the current situation.
You're talking about whose situation?
The current situation.
Well, I think it switched because we started seeing Jihoon in a different light. You know, he just was the way that they portrayed him was him just being irresponsible.
I do want to
lazy.
I do want to piggyback really quick and say two things. One, I can never be in a jury box because as soon as one of you talks, I like sway over, and then as soon as the other one talks, I sway back over. So you guys are swaying me a little bit. But I do have to say, just to piggyback off of Wet Sock, I think there is a difference between being kind of like a guy who's a little irresponsible, can't maintain a job, whatever, as opposed to having somebody who has malicious intent and is trying to, who has the intent to hurt somebody with their words or what could allegedly be false accusations. But just because, go ahead. What's up?
Oh, and you know what? Listen, I'm not Listen, we're not confrontational with each other or anything. It's okay to disagree. I just feel like I've never seen this guy be aggressive at any part in the show. I don't think that he's like that. I don't think he would do something like that. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment. But you know what?
It's hard. I mean, these shows are produced. They have a storyline that they come up with each character. I mean, and then they kind of show what they want to show. So we don't know what the reality is. It's entertainment. So the only way we're going to find out is when we see what happens with this court case.
Yeah, we get 2% of everything.
Yeah, you get 2%. It's entertainment. It's not real.
Before we move on to the next topic, I want to ask you a who said that card.
Oh gosh, no, because I can't remember anyone's names.
No, you have to.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
I need help. Okay, people that are in the chat, tell me who it is because I won't know.
Okay, it's who said that? The best of the best. Wet Sock, do you got this one already?
Yeah, I got this one.
Somebody tell me who it is. Asuelu? Someone said Asuelu.
Is that what they said? They got it. All right, Asuelu. No, D, I appreciate you calling in. And just like Wet Sock said, everybody can have an opinion here. That's the cool thing about it, because I don't necessarily always agree with this guy. So it doesn't matter. If you have an opinion, bring it here. We want to talk about it.
It's fun to watch. Then if everyone's agreeing with everybody on the panel, it's not.
Yeah, who wants to watch? Yeah, we're not watching the kids' PBS network. Okay.
Right.
I love giving that out. I like you too, Wet Sock. I've seen your videos. I like them. They're fun. And now I know where you got your name from. I didn't know what that meant, so I'm glad.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said that on a live, because God forbid his fiance ever takes him or leaves him. She's gonna be like, I want 10% for that name.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, I made you, and I'm gonna be like, what?
Yeah, she'll get you. No. But D, thank you so much. All right. That was fun, actually. I like a little bit of back and forth when we don't agree.
100%. Listen, guys, I mean, I've never been the kind of person that wants all my friends or everybody to all think the same. I think that way you don't grow. You got to hear other opinions different from your own. And it's okay to disagree with people. Like, I feel like my community too, like our communities, you're always going to have conflicting opinions or different opinions on certain subjects. And there's nothing wrong with that. The bottom line is, we don't know until we see the evidence, which is a fact. We don't know until we see the evidence. And so far, there has been no evidence brought to the table.
This just went from TLC to investigates real quick.
Okay. I know. Investigator, Your Wet Sock, and Investigator Up and Adam. you know.
All right. Let's take up we're taking up our next caller right now. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good. Wait, before we start, I'm gonna ask you who said that card.
Okay.
I can tote it.
I just need your egg. That's Angela.
I didn't even know that's what that was from. Oh, hence needs an egg. Oh, yeah. Explosive. Thanks. Wow. Mob is on it. Okay. Andrea, let's talk about it. I want to talk about shift this a little bit because we've hit Brittany and Yazan, we've hit Devin and Jihoon, but I want to talk real quick about Jenny and Sumit. Is this going to work or no?
It's not going to work. They're both so delusional. It hurts watching it.
Okay, honestly. So this is okay. So since you were so excited about that, since I can obviously tell you're just jumping with joy, thrilled over there about Jenny and Sumit, is there a topic for your wet soccer ride that we've talked about you want to bring up?
Just wanted to piggyback a little bit. So if you guys manage to interview Jihoon, definitely do it with a translator or someone that knows his language, because even if you are like very, very fluent in English, it's not your first language, and you're going to get stuck. And because the process of converting your thoughts in your language to the other language that you're trying to communicate, it can be very flustering. So I would definitely encourage you guys to try to make it work in Korean.
I agree. Well, thank you, Andrea. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, I wanted to, I don't know if you already guys, if you already talked about Kenny and Armando.
No, we can talk about it. What do you got for us? Okay.
So I love them. You know, Armando is my paisano. And I really love seeing like a real gay couple in the show, not a fake one.
Right.
But I do think that they rushed a little bit, either if it was for like drama for the show or whatever. The announcement of their engagement was super rushed. I would have waited a little bit because Armando's parents.
He's rushing the whole situation. I don't think Kenny's being. I think Kenny needs to respect that Armando needs to take baby steps, because anybody who's coming out to their family, especially, and just because I can speak out on this, everyone knows I made my fiance hide our relationship for a year. And I just said, hey, listen, I don't know how to tell my family. I don't know how they're going to accept it. If you can't accept this, I'll just move on. And that's just an awful way of being. And it was super selfish, but I just needed baby steps. So everyone's different.
Yeah. I mean, I also understand Kenny's point of view, where he wants to be out and have a relationship as he should be able to. But also he has to understand that, I mean, for Armando's family, they really need to digest everything that is happening, because you're talking about like hundreds of years of machismo and Catholicism being so engraved into our culture. So it's very hard. Like, things are improving, that's a fact, but they are not moving as fast as we would like to.
Well, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for winning the Who Said That card. And I appreciate the input on, I mean, just, you obviously know Mexican culture, so it's nice and refreshing to have you call in.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, what's up? Before we end up dipping out of here, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 more callers. We'll rotate them in real quick. We'll ask them what they want to touch on. We'll ask them a card and then boot them out.
Dude, bring them all. All the wet socks, get in here. Everybody.
All right. You know what? When I have to tell you, last time when you were like, the #1 YouTube, I was like, man, this guy is really hyped. And then I went on your videos and you're like, the #1 YouTube. And I was like, wow, this guy's always hyped.
Well, just say it because honestly, I think it's funny to like troll everybody and have people come in and be like, you're not the best #1 YouTube channel, Mr. Beast is. And I'm just think it's funny. Honest to God. Like, that's why I started doing it.
Sometimes, I find it that in YouTube, you find the best community of people that it's so fun. Like you feel like you get a little family, and then you get this little community of haters that every time you refresh your notifications, it's somebody who's going to be like, you're awful. Like delete your page. You suck. And it's like,
You know
holy
what?
cow.
I feel like people are going to hate on you, whether you're doing good or you're doing bad in life. And you just got to keep on rock and rolling with your friends and the people that love you. And, that's it. That's what you got to do.
I agree. All right, let's bring up our last few. Hi, Lizzie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi, Lizzie.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Awesome.
Lizzie, before we start, I'm going to ask you who said that card.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Who said, "I'm so sorry"?
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, what are the hints?
The hints are translator app.
Oh, Jihoon.
Man. God, I want to get one that nobody's going to get. All right, Lizzie, thank you. Thank you for calling in. What do you want to sound off on?
So I want to talk about Brittany and Yazan because your Wet Sock and Master of BlackJack get the best cameos. And the last cameo your Wet Sock got, Usman offered to come on his channel for a little bit of money to talk about him and Brittany.
Right.
And that's a great idea because her cameo response to it was so funny. She was like, I can't believe you're about to ask me this question. And then pretended like she never knew who he was, never heard his music. So,
right. You know what?
That-
I think I'm going to be doing that because there, was a lot of people have been requesting that I bring Usman on and interview him. And you know what? Honestly, when he asked for money at first, I was like, is this guy serious with a big smile on my face?
That's what I thought too. I was like, you're going to ask for money on a channel that gets what, couple of hundreds of thousands of views? Like,
the number one
but
channel.
You know what? I respect
number one
the
YouTube
hustle.
channel in the entire world.
Right. That's what I thought at first, but I respect the hustle. And this guy's trying to hustle and make some money. And you know what? I respect it. So I will pay Usman to be on and for me to interview him. I'll pay him for his time because, clout doesn't translate to paying the bills sometimes.
Right.
So I will do that because the Wet Sox want to see it.
Yeah, and anyone who's watching, you should go check out your Wet Sock. He does all the best cameos, and same with Master of BlackJack. My favorite was you did a deep dive on David and then got a cameo from him, and he joked with you and stuff. That was hella funny.
Yeah, I like David. You know what I want to do when I see David? I want to take him out and we'll have drinks, cocktails, whatever, talk about stuff. But what I seriously want to do you remember that show on MTV Next? Do you guys
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I want to recreate that with David and then have a bunch of, Romanian girls or whatever in Vegas. And we can have them go on dates. I'll film the whole thing. I'll be like the announcer for it. And then at the end, they can pick a cash prize or going on a second date with David.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
How do you orchestrate that? I feel like you need like a team of 10. You got to rent a bus. You need to get a little Next decal that has a Wet Sock underneath it.
I mean, I'm close.
Me and all my stupid ass friends from high school can do it. I'm going to talk to all of them. I'm going to make them Wet Sock t-shirts and they're going to go around. One's going to be the videographer. We're going to do it if he agrees. That'd be cool.
I like that. I like that. And I do want to say real quick, I have my own story with Baby Love because I reached out to him and I tried to get an interview, and then his manager reached back out to me, and this might be a little bit shady on my part, but his manager reached back out to me and said, hey man, no, we want $1,000. And I was like, $1,000? It's okay. Yeah. I'm just starting my channel. I'll pass. And then as soon as I saw a week later when TLC let him and baby girl Lisa go from the network, I messaged the manager back and I was like, I don't see you coming back on TLC anytime soon, buddy. So if you still want to do that interview, I'm willing to offer. And the manager said, yeah, we'll do it. So we set up a time. We locked it in. I was sitting in front of the camera waiting for 20 minutes. And then I messaged him and I said, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, hey, sorry, we're on set for a music video shoot. I totally forgot. But also, now that I just saw this, I didn't get a payment. So if you want to send me $500, then I'll do the interview. I was like, okay, man, I'm done.
Well, that is ridiculous. That doesn't, I don't want to say like all Nigerians are scammers, but like that doesn't look good like at all.
But
Very,
also, like
very
Westlock said, everybody has
unprofessional.
a hustle.
Right. And
Well-
just one, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry about
No
that.
problem. I just want to say one more thing about Brittany and Yazan before I go. I was trying to say this earlier on your last show, but my mic kept cutting out. So you know how Brittany said that, oh, my divorce papers weren't filed right? Well, Starchasm found the filings for her divorce, and she filed in September of 2019 and then was granted the divorce in February of 2020. And her season is filmed like after September, like around like October, November of last year. So where's the mess up with the paperwork? Like, where did it go?
Wow.
This just furthers Wet Sox theory of Brittany trying to just chase the fame.
You know what?
Seriously.
I hate to be right, guys. I hate it.
I don't feel like you
I get
hate
my
to be
hopes
right.
up. I believe in true love, and I look at these couples, and I'm like, you guys can work it out, but they never can.
I gotta
Right.
say, man, you don't look like one of those guys. And I've seen a lot of people, a lot of guys too, you know, and you just don't look like one of those guys who hates to be right.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, before I go, your little brother in your video yesterday was super funny and super cute.
Aw.
You guys were hella funny together, and you and Bree too. You guys are just so amazing. And I'll let someone else talk, but I just wanted to call in and say I love you guys. I really appreciate letting people call in. That's super cool. And you know, I found Up and Adam from Master of BlackJack, and I also found you from Master of BlackJack. So Master of BlackJack bringing us all together on these live streams is super cool. So thank you guys so much for doing this. It's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Lizzie.
Yeah. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. I'll let someone else talk. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a great week.
Bye.
All right. Man, she was awesome.
Awesome. Dude, listen, everyone's good vibes in here. You know what? Even if someone comes in or we'll disagree on stuff, that's no worries. Politely disagree. And we're having really good conversations in this. I love our lives. I think we need to go live more. And this is a really good way of connecting with everybody.
Yeah, and man, just for anybody who's watching too, guys, if you haven't already, please like this video. It helps tremendously. And two, we're going to try to figure out between us a time that works on a regular basis, hopefully on a weekly basis, where we can reach out and have a live discussion with all of you guys, because it's fun. It's fun to have a difference of opinion. And it's fun to bounce off your personality. You have a personality over there on the other side of that screen.
Thanks a lot, man. So do you. What do you?
Yeah, man. We'll
Stop
keep you
buttering me
around.
up, man. You know, it's like that doesn't make me happy. Give me compliments. Stop it.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna bring up another caller real quick. We have another card, and then we're gonna start wrapping up. All right, Jamal. What's up, Jamal?
What's up, guys?
How's
Hey,
it going?
Jamal.
What's up, Westside? Good to see you again. Hey, Adam.
All right, Jamal. Before we
you.
start, I have to ask you a who said that card.
All right.
What kind of food do they serve in Mexico?
Oh, that's Kenny.
Man, maybe you really do have to get the people drunk, because if you're a true TLC super fan, I feel like you're gonna get this. But if I get you a little litty, you might not get it. Okay, Jamal, sound off.
So, Brittany and Yazin, did we really think they were going to be a real couple? Can we honestly say we were rooting for them the whole time? I mean, because if you remember when she was talking, she's like, well, I'd like to date like older men who are rich and blah, 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 blah. And then she's talking like, yeah, I'm in love with Yazin. He's like, he has an engineering degree and blah, blah. I'm like, well, but he's like young and okay looking, and I don't think he's rich, so that doesn't work.
He's not rich.
So I figured, like, okay, she's using this to boost her music career. Great. She's gonna have her music playing on in the back all the time. She'll be promoting her music, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I could go for that. I know you're lying, but I'm okay with that. Gets to Jordan, no music, no collaborations. I'm like, okay, you just really here just to act a fool and embarrass everyone. Perfect. Next.
But the problem is now Yazan has his whole family who wants to nix him because Brittany's over here trying to get a little bit of fame.
Well, that, and she's talking about the King of Jordan's private business, so that doesn't help either.
That doesn't help either.
That doesn't help either. I'm like, I just need her off my screen. Jenny and Submit. Let's remember, this relationship started off on a catfish. His name was Michael Jones. So
right.
What we were gonna do with that one?
That's fair.
No, Kenny and Armando. Kenny doesn't have the ability to really think outside of his own point of view, which is why this is struggling a little bit more than we think it should. He's not understanding, like, hey, this is Armando's culture. Like, you have to understand, like, he can't just be all like that. Because remember, he tried to do it, went back in, got married or whatever, had a child, and now he's coming back out again. Like, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot for him and his family. So be patient. Talk to the people who are actually around you. Attempt to communicate. Say hola, how are you, whatever. Be more patient. No, do something.
No, I get it. Tim and Melissa, Tim's trying, so I get it.
Are they still on the show? Damn.
Right.
I thought they've been gone. She just brought him down there to punish him. That's the whole thing. She wanted him to leave everything behind. She's like, he still loves me. My stuff is, he know my stuff is good. He's about to just drop everything for me. But when he got down there, so like, oh yeah, I still have my job and my apartment or whatever. She was pissed because she wanted him down there broke and at her mercy, and it didn't happen that way. So that's it. That's it.
Jamal, I appreciate you calling in. Wetsock, do you have anything to say before we drop Jamal?
Yeah, Jamal, you don't miss shots. You know, everything you say is on point. You're a true speaker, and I respect you.
That's why I keep this guy around. He's on it.
I have to say that I love your channel because, like, when you roasted Devin, because I watched that whole video. I mean, when someone speaks and responds to someone that clearly, and like, dude, you just roasting this little poor girl. I feel bad, but then I don't, because you don't threaten people that way, and you get what you get. So
especially when you can do a tasteful roast, that takes a little bit of. I mean, that takes something. When you could do a tasteful roast, I just want to say that, Wetsock. I'm going to give you that credit over there.
So, yeah,
I appreciate that. You know what? I feel like you can roast anybody. I grew up in Xbox Live days and South Park. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up on, was Xbox Live and South Park. So I just grew up in that era, and now everybody's so PC and everything, and it's annoying. But here's my thing. You can roast anybody, and we can all, crack a beer and joke around about stuff, but I would never falsely accuse somebody of something really serious. Right.
Yeah,
like that. I feel like you have to set the line somewhere. And a lot of these people don't have the line, and they need to figure it out, because it's like, if you're going to do that, hey, man, and I'm not talking about Devin with Jihoon. I'm talking about Devin with me. When she came at me, I was like, oh, my God, like, I don't even know you. I've never met you. And you're actually trying to threaten me. So, now I'm going to make a video on you because of that.
Right.
Right. My main issue with that one was this. She said, like, I heard from another blogger. Like, you can't approach someone with legal action based on another blogger. Like,
exactly.
You can't do that. It's inappropriate.
Right.
And then on their situation, real quick, I have no opinion at this point, because there's both sides and there's the truth, but then there's no real evidence. So we have to wait till everything comes out, including the unedited portions of their story. That's going to be the telling tale. Like, this stuff we don't see, we know that, but once that comes out, then we'll know.
All right, Jamal. Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, guys. See you soon.
See ya. Thanks so much.
Anytime.
All right, Wetsock. Well, I guess I have a move to do, man. I got to jump on the road, and my moving people are here. My stuff's in boxes, and it's time for me to go. But before we go, I can't, since you just came in here with this goofy, hey, man, are we plugging this? And I was like, yeah, might as well just ride on it. Like, I'm like a presenter for 12 Days of Christmas at the Ellen Show. I wanted to ask you one more last Master of Blackjack card game question.
Sounds good.
All right. So this one is not 90 Day, but she was on 90 Day. I'll give you that hint. Ooh. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Oh, my God.
Hints are plastic surgery and crying.
I can think of a bunch of different people. Wait. Come
on, you got this. They're relevant, a little relevant right now.
So wasn't on the show?
Was on 90 Day, but it's not on a 90 Day right now.
Oh my God. Stacy?
It's close enough. I mean, they're like kind of the same person. Darcy.
Oh, Darcy.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, I want to say real quick in a glass half full kind of way. When you start saying Stacy's name before Darcy, that we see the come up over there. So good for you, Stacy. You're not in the shadows anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Wet Sock, I appreciate you jumping on. Guys, if you haven't already, please like this video. It helps us tremendously. And thank you guys so much for supporting our channel. Well, Mob's channels, Wet Sock's channel, my channel, and this live discussion. Please, can you give us our last Can you give us our last words?
Yeah,
Anything?
you know what, guys? Hope everybody's staying safe. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And you know what? Just these lives are fun. We're going to keep doing them. It's fun to get all in here and talk. It feels like a group hangout during the quarantine. You know what I mean? So it's really fun for everybody. And yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, and if it wasn't 10 a.m., I would have champagne. But all right, maybe next time, man.
Yeah, sounds good. I would love that.
All right. See you later, man. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
You might want to hold on to something. This world feels like a dream. A strange, terrible, beautiful dream. Everything is